Ridgeview, home of the Panthers.
How are you all this morning?
Good, how are you?
Good morning. It's Monday, January 23rd, and although school starts at 8:30, students at Ridgeview start the day much earlier. We begin the day at 7:30. Our students are free to come into our building and engage in a morning reading program. When our students come in, we monitor their reading, and that goes on Monday through Friday. At 8 o'clock, our students also go and eat breakfast. We have a full breakfast program available for our students. So before 8:30, we've already had a lot of action happening at Ridgeview.
I had 4 on top, 4 on the bottom, and 4 around. That's 3 4s. 4 plus 4 plus 4. That would be 12. Okay.
I think if you were to walk in Ridgeview, one of the things that you would notice would be a school in motion, in a sense. We have our specialists, our PE, art, music teachers who each morning are involved in something we call instructional focus, and they take time out of their schedule to work with groups of students to improve their reading and math scores and improve their abilities in that area.
This was an indicator that we did pretty well on, but we could still use a little bit of work. So it ties in really well what we're doing this morning with our instructional reading time. So go ahead and Evan, start us off.
Supporting details help make the main idea clear. For example, the author writes,
we also have students we call flex grouping, and it's about meeting the needs of individual students, about students being able to move from group to group. You know, if this week they need to work on a sight word skill, then they're working with one teacher. If next week they need to work on 3-digit subtraction, then they might be working with another teacher. It's about knowing our children and knowing their individual needs. And our teachers work hard. They have professional learning communities which are a vital part of our school, and it's about teachers working together to help a student achieve. Ridgeview is an extremely unique school because of our size. The boundaries of Ridgeview include I-35 to the east. It includes Santa Fe to the north, and literally the railroad tracks. So we are a pretty small demographic area. We have housing areas where we might have 2 or 3 families living in one household. So although we are landlocked in the sense they're not building any new houses here, we do have quite a few families moving in. I think another surprising fact about Ridgeview is the number of transfers that we have. We have family members who went here as children, and they want their children to remain here as well. The majority of our students do walk, and it makes arrival and dismissal here very unique because we have a lot of students who are picked up and dropped off by cars out in the back of our school, and in the front we have all of our walkers who leave. schools that have a lot of buses, it is a transportation nightmare. Our arrival and dismissal is very automatic and very quick because most of our students don't ride buses.
First thing I say about Ridgeview is it's excellent because it's small. I went through another school district in this area and every school was huge, and it's nice to be in a small atmosphere. It's nice to come in myself, and I've helped students and they remember you and they call you by name, and it's a nice feeling to do that, and that can only happen in a small school.
Absolute key to a child's success is parent involvement. We all know that parents are the child's first teacher. We cannot do it alone. It is vital that our parents become active, whether it's through our parent-teacher group, whether it's through site council, even if it's coming to just one of our game nights or one of our kindergarten events where you're just playing with your child. That one-on-one is key. What you are reinforcing there is the importance that school has in your life and in your child's life.
I think it would be great to have a lot of the parents out here. I mean, we've got a diverse set of kids, and it would be nice to get the input from all of the parents, and sometimes we don't always get all the parents here, and I'd love to see all of them come out to our activities.
Ridgeview is unique in that it is a smaller school, and I think that's great because we have smaller classrooms and you are able to have a more individualized instruction with your students. That's one area I think that is wonderful about Ridgeview. Another is that I think we're on the cutting edge with technology and cooperative learning.
14 minus 4 equals 10. Is this related to these number sentences? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
It's really giving students an advantage when they get into junior high or high school or even out into the real world. They have this experience, and I really don't know of a whole lot of jobs that don't require some kind of technology use, and so these kids are going to have that advantage, and I'm really excited about that.
One of the most exciting things that we have at Ridgeview that really does stand us apart from any school in the district, and I happen to think in the nation, is our use of technology. Technology is a wonderful tool that helps all students learn, and it's something that we have been very committed to here at Ridgeview. And as you walk around our building, for an older building, you do see quite a lot of technology, and it's something that, as a staff, we decided it's something that we wanted to spend our money on.
Kara, give me a name for this point. K. Could I name this line SK? I think just in general, students are just more actively involved with technology. For example, we use the clickers in our classroom, the CPS system, which every student can use at the same time. And it's a way to do just a quick check on how students are grasping concepts. For example, we use it in math and geometry to see if they're understanding what a ray is and what an angle is, and I can see how every student is doing.
An angle named angle ABC has a vertex of C. True or false?
It's nice because they don't see how other students are doing, but they see how we're doing as a class. So each concept we can decide whether we've understood it or not and able to move on from there. That's great with assessments because we're assessed on indicators, so I can even narrow it down to a specific indicator that we would need to work on using technology. So there's just a myriad of ways that technology advances our classroom.
What does congruent mean? It means two things.
These students take these iWrite tablets and they're able to, starting in 3rd and 4th grade, master these iWrite tablets and these palms in a way that, you know, by the time that they're in high school, they are going to be probably much more proficient than we are, but it allows for longevity in the technology that's available.
Excellent, and if you agree with Evan, give him a thumbs up, and let's do the roller coaster. Ready?
Traditional methods, what we were accustomed to when we were younger of just lecturing, doing worksheets, will not work here at Ridgeview because our students might not all know the language, but you know what? The instruction that's good for ELL students is really good for all kids, so you're going to see a lot of active learning here. And one of the huge pieces that we have at Ridgeview is cooperative learning. Cooperative learning is a research-based strategy where students are involved, their accountability is high, students are talking to each other, their social skills are involved, and this is something all of our teachers spend a lot of time getting a lot of training in and really putting to use in the classroom.
I think cooperative learning classrooms are definitely the way to teach, and research has proven that. It's not something that we just think works, it's something that probably over 1,000 studies have been done on it, and we know that it works. And cooperative learning classrooms students work cooperatively to achieve the same goal.
And numbered heads together.
You have this interdependence built into all the structures. The students need each other in order to be able to be successful. And then within that structure, you also have that individual accountability where each student is individually accountable for one particular aspect of the learning and for their own learning. And then you have equal participation. All of the cooperative learning structures are set up so that the participation is equal. I have a great percent of my classroom overtly or observably active at once. You can take a look at when they are practicing something through a cooperative learning structure. You can look around and it may be, if they're doing a partner work, 50% of the class is observably active at once. Versus asking a question to the whole class, 1% raise one person or 3 or 4 raise their hand. I call on one student. I have maybe 3% of my class active. The rest of them, what are they doing when I call on that one person to respond? They've checked out. So by using cooperative learning structures for that guided practice piece of the lesson, it just ensures that I have an increased number of my students engaged in the activity at once. So the students benefit, achievement goes up, and therefore when achievement goes up, retention goes up, the kids are excited. They think it's a game.
Uncle Upton's upside down. Up in his umbrella tree, hanging upside down. U is for uncle, hanging upside down. He applies his while upside down, up in the umbrella tree.
Our biggest challenge we were faced when we started becoming an ELL immersion center was the translation of just notes home. Our teachers were scrambling, and freetranslation.com is just not going to cut it. We were very fortunate to hire a full-time translator here. She translates all notes home, whether it's a classroom note, whether it's a note from me. She calls all of our Spanish parents. She works one-on-one with Spanish kids. She translates for me in meetings as well as for teachers in meetings. She's truly been a lifesaver here at Ridgeview and has really been instrumental in welcoming our Spanish community into our school and making them feel welcome and having their voice heard at Ridgeview.
I start early in the morning, and since I come in the door, I welcome families and kids to school. I do translations for all the teachers and staff in the school.
Era 780-7630. Muchas gracias. Okay. Griselda, van a llamar de vuelta para ver si vienen por ti, okay?
I do a lot of reading translations since every document or most of the documents that come out of the school come through me, and I have to translate those in Spanish.
As we all know, No Child Left Behind has caused us all to really focus on test scores. And when you look at Ridgeview, we are achieving. We meet what we call AYP, which is Adequate Yearly Progress. We've done it each year. And we've also achieved Standard of Excellence. I mean, as you walk in our door, you see that we've achieved it in writing. Last year, we've achieved it in reading and math. But that is just one small piece of how we measure our success here at Ridgeview. Our students have many challenges. I mean, and our teachers have to work hard to meet all of these needs. And the way that they do it is through good teaching. And good teaching means I am going to take the individual needs of a child and I am going to try to meet these needs in the best way I can. If a child isn't understanding a concept, then I'm going to take a look at myself and, you know, how do I need to teach that in a different way that's going to connect with that child. Ridgeview is a very unique building physically. We are getting ready to celebrate our 50th birthday next year, so that kind of gives you a little bit of background about our building in itself, because first of all, when you walk in our building, one of the things that you're going to notice are the number of windows and the very large classroom. Lots of light and lots of room for our children. As the school progressed and got bigger, you'll notice that the building was added on, which can add some challenges. The first challenge might be just trying to get somebody to directions on how to get down to the basement. We take a lot of pride in Ridgeview, despite challenges of having a basement level, a lower level, kind of roundabouts. We take a lot of pride in our building. I had a parent who volunteered to do beautiful artwork throughout Ridgeview. We have beautiful murals that really our children and adults delight in every day. Our custodians work very hard to keep our building as clean as a brand new building. As I walk around the building, I see teachers every day working hard to meet the needs of their kids. I see teachers talking to each other, laughing with each other. I see teachers working late hours at night, all to just provide the best possible education for their kids. Ridgeview teachers care about each other, and because they care about each other, it's able to show in the way that they teach. They are here for one another, and I am truly honored to work with this group of professionals. They are, I would proudly put any of my own children in with each of these teachers. Teachers are here because we love our children, and we truly do. As you look around our school, look at these kids, and they bring you joy every single day, and that is why we are in education.
Adiós, gracias por vernos.
I'm wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
You can't do stuff like that because I'll put it in.
No.